Talk about some updated Vikings top 3 draft needs. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and Vikings have made a lot of moves in free agency, so I think it's fair to say the needs may have been changed a little bit.
Yeah, those needs have been shuffled around. Some have disappeared, some have remained, but we'll get into those after all these guys the Vikings signed, how their needs are looking right now as of this day. Before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We are so close to 7,000 subscribers, and when we get there, it'll be a glorious day, and we'll also be giving a giveaway, so drop hashtag 7,000 in the comments.
Also, yeah, we got like 6 new Patreons last night at the live, so hit up the Patreon link as well. Only $2 a month. We'll be doing some giveaways for that as well.
Yeah, and you can actually also do more than $2 a month if you want to.
Don't push it. Don't push it. All right, Vikings top 3 needs. Lupagus, what would you say is your top need in life?
Well, a top need in life?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like you're pretty set.
What else does a man need? Everybody's healthy.
I don't know. Different earbuds, maybe.
I like my orange earbuds.
All right, let's do it. We're starting at 3. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Starting backwards. So we have different ones. What's your number 3?
Yeah, I don't know what yours are, but my number 3 biggest need on this roster, as it is right now, is the tight end position, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, Irv Smith Jr.'s inability to stay healthy. Yes, he can be a dynamic, weapon in the passing game when he's healthy, but he has not been healthy yet in his career. Behind him is another reason that's scary. You got Johnny Munt, who I just think, I think he is just Kevin O'Connell's guy. I think he'll make the team, but I think he's tight end 3 at best, and an emergency guy you put on the field if some other guys are injured. And behind him is Zach Davidson. And Zach Davidson, there's a lot of potential here, a lot of upside, but he just looks so far behind last year in training camp that I don't think he's even going to be close to making this roster again. So I think that's going to be a draft need. And obviously it's not one they're going to address early, but I'm thinking, maybe round 3 will be the earliest we see them go tight end. But to me, it's a big need on this team after the moves they made in free agency.
Tight end did not make my list, but I agree with everything you said. Johnny Munt getting 0 love. Kind of a downer class for tight ends, though. But mid rounds, you get some value.
There's a lot of guys. I mean, maybe a high end, but there's a lot of guys in those mid rounds I like, and I'm starting to really, really like. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to be rooting every time Johnny Munt's on the field, and he has a catch. It's going to be talked about in our post game vids. But
the Munt report.
The Munt report, hell yeah.
The Munt report. And just to clarify, Lupagus did think Martin Rucker would be the next Hall of Fame tight end, so get excited.
No, well, I thought O.J. Howard after him too.
All right, my number 3, I'm going receiver, and I'm going to put a disclaimer out there that the Vikings have a lot more than 3 needs. So there's some that are not going to make the list that I'm sure we'll hear about in the comments, but I'm going receiver. Right now, Jefferson, obviously, we're very top heavy. Adam Thielen, we know, is 32 years old, coming off the ankle injury. Behind him, as much as I love to say, Smith-Marsette, we really have absolutely nothing. If one of those guys were to go down, I mean, they would be screwed.
No love for KJ Osborne. What the hell's wrong with you? Short memory? Or did you forget about
KJ Osborne's a wonderful number 3. Wonderful number 3. And I just think with some of these guys, especially in round 1 at pick 12, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, I mean, that could be very, very tempting with a team that is going to need another solid wide receiver coming up. So wide receivers, my number 3. People probably won't like it, but I'm sticking to my guns.
Well, I'm not going to say it's a need. I don't think it's a need for this team, but I think it's definitely an option that could go early in this draft. And to me, the biggest reason why, there's 2 reasons why. The biggest one, I think it really is, what is Justin Jefferson going to cost you in the coming years? These receiver contracts are crazy. You might as well have some insurance on the roster, just in case, he is demanding like 150 guaranteed, something crazy like that. Adam Thielen's career is winding down, so you need someone else to be the number 2. I do like KJ Osborne. I like Amir Smith-Marsette. And also, O'Connell's going to use more receivers this year, so you could add one. And then the last part is just, if the team's really trying to win right now and win in 2022, an impact, like a Jameson Williams coming in to this offense would be huge. And the impact that could have would really be make this offense one of the best in the league when you pair it with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Delvin Cook running the football. So it could be, one of the bigger impact positions the Vikings go. And I think, well, it's not a need. I think it's definitely an option early for the Vikings.
I think wide receiver, for what they are getting paid, is going to be a position that teams just continue to at least every year, every couple of years, get one in those top 3 rounds because they're not going to be able to afford all these guys.
No.
So that's why I'm putting receiver on there. Who's your number 2?
Number 2 position for me is going to be center. I just, you look at Garrett Bradbury, not a good player. You bring in Austin Schlottman. It's nice. It's nice having a new face, but he's not very good. I mean, they basically paid him the least they could possibly play an NFL player.
Some might say he's downright bad.
Some might say he's downright bad. I'm trying to be nice here. I don't know why. He hasn't pissed me off yet. I haven't seen him on the field. I probably will never see him on the field. So to me, it's still Garrett Bradbury. Hasn't been good. You haven't upgraded yet. Yeah, there's an outside chance Wyatt Davis could blossom into a center, but I think you're really, really rolling the dice on that happening. So if the Vikings go into 2022 as Garrett Bradbury as the starting center, I think that's a disappointment. And to me, it's an area they can still upgrade in this draft and something they could do. I doubt they do it at 12, but I think around 2 or 3, they could look for a guy to help out there.
Yeah, I definitely think that center is like one of the top needs. I do not have center on my list. I just don't think they're going to go there. I think they're actually going to roll with Garrett Bradbury this year. I think there's some intrigue knowing that he was a top pick and thinking maybe that they can fix him. And really, I just think they're going to roll with Garrett Bradbury.
No, I know. And the things Kevin Connell has said about Bradbury makes you definitely think that's the route they're going to go. And he has been true to his word this year. I'm just hoping they do upgrade there. And a guy who had his pro day today and stock is rising, Cole Strange would be a hell of an option for the Vikings.
Cole Strange. They take Cole Strange at pick 12. I'd be excited. Won't get a very good grade, but I'd be excited.
Yeah. Hell yeah. How do you not look Cole Strange?
All right. My number 2, defensive line. I know we got Tomlinson. We got Phillips. We got guys like I love the thought of Watts and James Lynch being some of those rotational players, but I think that's where they belong as a rotational player. Let's get another big boy up front to add with those linebackers, a Jordan Davis, a Travis Jones. I'm talking early to add to this defense that already has quite the facelift. I mean, having those guys up front, like we've said multiple times, it's just going to help our cornerbacks that aren't overly fantastic. So defensive line, number 2.
Yeah, and to me, this is just like wide receiver. I wouldn't really call it a need, but definitely a way they can go. I think at 12, Jordan Davis is in play. I think at 46, Travis Jones is in play, and I love them both on this team, what they could do. Stuffing the run, creating interior pressure. So, yes, guys who can come and have an instant impact. But, again, if we don't go D-tackle, I think we're okay with Harrison Phillips in the inside, at the nose tackle, Watts and Tomlinson on the ends, and you got some depth. I don't know James Lynch, how he really fits into this whole thing, but we'll see.
Pass rushing monster, I think that's what they're saying.
I don't know. He's just such an ideal fit
awesome
as the 3-tech inside and the 4-3 front. So I don't know. We'll see how he fits in. But I think we can actually roll the way it is. But if we go that route and early in the draft, I would not be upset at all.
We can roll as it is with every position.
Nah, you can't roll the corners we had a week ago.
It's true. That's why we each have corners at number 1. That's easy. It's going to be the top one for any Vikings fan. If you don't have cornerback there, you're blind. You are blind. Patrick Peterson, love me some PP, but that PP is going to need something hanging next to it. He's going to need some help.
2 PPs?
Seen it before. 8th grade gym class.
Well, I wonder who that was. We'll talk about that after the vid. Well, I mean, you got your outside starting corners now, and you got like 6 nickels on the roster. So you're okay for this year, but you got nothing for next year. Cam Dantzler, another concern. He's been up and down with his play. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. Pat Peterson was hurt last year as well. So you got to bring in somebody. So I think whether it's round 1 or round 2, they're going to go corner with one of those spots. A lot of guys we like, a lot of guys that make sense, a lot of guys that would fit in, and the value could meet the need at 12 or at 46. So it's the team's clearest, most glaring need. I do feel with the Patrick Peterson signing, they don't have to force it at 12 now. They can go somewhere else and hit it in the second round. But there's no arguing. It's the top need for this team.
There you have it. Those are our needs. I can't wait to see the comments below. Make sure to let us know what we did not talk about that you have a need. Make sure to subscribe and hit up that Patreon page.
Tell us your deepest and darkest needs as well. And remember this, while you're thinking about your needs, drinking a banana milkshake can help cure a hangover.